Oh yes, they started shooting episode 9. What's up everybody? Today I'm here to talk about Star Wars. We have heard that JJ Abrams posted a picture saying that they're officially started, filming for the new episode. And in the good old days, all the fans would be However, taking the divisive effect of The Last Jedi, the reaction right now, it's more like, ugh, they're starting to shoot episode 9. Right now, the fans don't really know what to expect from episode 9. Again, I like to think positive. I like to think that JJ Abrams will come up with something at least watchable, or at least less painful than The Last Jedi was. So I do have high hopes. But before I start talking about this, someone has contacted me on Twitter, and this person made a cut for The Last Jedi where he calls Star Wars anti-cringe edit. And I did see the edit. This is actually the second time that I saw The Last Jedi, because I've only saw it once in the theaters and I didn't want to see it anymore. However, this person said, would you have a look at my cut and see what you think? But this cut does flow better because, you don't have all these unnecessary jokes, and a lot of the cringy parts are not there. It's very different from Ivan's cut, for instance, because I know that Ivan will be adding things to the film, such as like a lightsaber fight. And when the person contacted me, said that my intention behind this is just to release, the pain and make it at least a watchable film. So if you're interested in seeing this edit, there is an email on the description below. You can send this person an email and then you'll get a link and then you can watch this edit. But anyways, let's talk about this picture that JJ Abrams posted. So first, this picture was on Twitter, and you see a camera right over here. And you clearly see episode 7 and 9, which shows exactly, that JJ Abrams, he shot episode 7 and 9. So hopefully, one of the things that I'm hoping for this movie, that it will tie the loose ends from The Force Awakens, such as the things that we saw on Rey's vision. And you can totally see that you have Chewie over there in the picture along with John Boyega, Finn and Rey. I mean, there's not much saying on this picture over here, but the annoying thing is that he posted this on Twitter and he thanked Rian Johnson, right? Did you guys see the Twitter? He basically said, bittersweet starting this next chapter without Carrie, but thanks to an extraordinary casting crew, we are ready to go. Grateful for Rian Johnson. For ruining Star Wars. And special thanks to George Lucas for creating this incredible world and beginning a story of which we are lucky to be a part. Great tweet, apart from where he actually thanks Rian Johnson. There's nothing to thank this man because he created the most divisive film I've ever seen. I'm the kind of person that, again, we know that right now they're trying to get the fans on board by bringing back Lando, by announcing that Luke will be back, by announcing that they will be using Carrie Fisher's footage that we haven't still seen from episode 7. I actually covered that on another video. And there's also a rumor that George Lucas might be involved. And it could be really true because on JJ Abrams' tweet, he does thank George Lucas. Obviously this is not officially announced yet. So all of these things are, in my opinion, a way to kind of bring people back and bring their interest into going and see the next episode. Because, even though Lucasfilm has never officially addressed the backlash, they are very much aware. You could tell by the trailer when they're trying to release the DVD for The Last Jedi, the trailer pretty much only features the things that people wanted to see. You don't see like the part with the horses. You see Akbar on that trailer. You see Luke Skywalker. All these things that the fans actually liked because they're trying to sell the DVDs. But the DVDs still did not do very well. So they are listening. They're just not addressing it, because if they do address, it's kind of admitting their fault, and this is one of the things that I don't think that they will be doing. Again, in my opinion, it's all about the story, and it's all about how they're going to tie all the loose ends, especially, taking the fact that people are very upset with the portrayal of Luke Skywalker. This is one of my biggest complaints from the last episode, is that I don't see, no matter how much people are saying, oh, it was a great ending, that was the worst possible ending you could give to a one of the most iconic characters from Star Wars. Star Wars is known as the Skywalker saga for a reason, because it's always involved the Skywalker. So you can't just pretend they're no longer necessary for the story, So I have an article over here, and that's an article on The Guardian that is saying, do we really need Force Ghost Luke Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 9? Now, this article is pretty much already assuming that he's dead. Because right now, we don't know what they're going to do in the next episode, Although, so far, all we know is that Luke Skywalker is dead, It seems like that he was dead. He vanished in thin air. Unless they change Force powers, just like now Force Ghosts can summon thunder, maybe, I don't know, one of the powers of a Jedi Master now, they can disappear in thin air. That would be a way to bring Luke Skywalker back. In my opinion, it would be better to bring him back, because I don't think that he did not have a pleasant and satisfactory ending, in my opinion. See what this article is saying. The announcement that Mark Hamill Luke Skywalker is to return in Star Wars Episode 9, although it has been rather overshadowed by the news that the late Carrie Fisher's Leia is also returning, may indicate that director JJ Abrams plans to show there is more to Force Ghost than the occasional spot of the translucid backseat driving. It needs to, because there is otherwise very little point in bringing Luke back at all after his death in The Last Jedi. I feel that Mark Hamill has been, for a while right now, kind of hinting things to the fans. There's one tweet that he said that everything will be okay. So that kind of seems like he is, perhaps he's happy with the direction they are going for his character this time. But again, after all the popularity that he's saying that, he didn't really like the direction Rian Johnson took his character, I'm pretty sure this time around he'll be way more careful to, talk ill against Disney. But let's see what else it's saying. For all its fault, Rian Johnson's movie had successfully brought Skywalker's journey to a satisfying conclusion. I mean, who's writing this? Seriously? Wow, milking a sea cow, what a satisfying conclusion. That's all the fans wanted to see. Luke Skywalker milking, squeezing, never mind. But that's all we wanted to see, right, guys? And then also we really wanted to see him, not doing anything in the entire movie and just die at the very end. That's very, very satisfying. But let's see. After a cowardly period in which he chose to close himself off from the Force, and now it's calling him a coward, following his failure to stop Ben Solo becoming Kylo Ren, Luke redeemed himself by making the ultimate sacrifice to help his friends on Crate, just when they need him the most. I can't with these articles, this is what is really annoying. There's also rumor that this is supposed to be the end of the Skywalker saga. I don't even think Star Wars can go on without the Skywalkers. That's how I see it. I think the Skywalkers are very important. But I've been reading a lot of articles that people say, oh, the Skywalkers need to die so the franchise can expand and go forward. And I don't understand why. Because just the fact that there was a Skywalker there, I mean, is it not possible to have other powerful Jedis too? I mean, Anakin Skywalker was a powerful Jedi, and so was Obi-Wan Kenobi, And, the prequels pretty much did extend the universe, or not. We learned a lot about the world of the Jedis and things like that. So why do the Skywalkers have to die in order to expand the universe? I mean, it could be a story that is not really focusing on the Skywalkers, but I don't understand why they have to just don't exist in order for in order for the world to expand. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me, okay? I don't think that they should get rid of the Skywalkers. But again, now the only one left is pretty much Kylo Ren, right? The only one that could take the name forward, unless Rey turns out to be a Skywalker. Who knows? JJ could change everything, but let's see what else they're saying. It would make perfect sense for Skywalker to make a cameo as a Force Ghost on Episode 9, following a similar path to his forebears. But in fact, Lucasfilm has announced Hamill so early in production process of the final episode, it suggests the actor will play a key role in the events. They have to have him play a key role. Okay, now is not the time to play around, because they already see what happened after. A lot of people were like disappointed with The Force Awakens because wow, we get what, like 5 seconds of Luke Skywalker. And The Last Jedi, they were so terrified of having him on being Luke Skywalker that they had to completely destroy him in order for people to like Rey. Because again, nowadays the lack of creativity is so big that they can't find a common ground in where, you know, you would have a Master Jedi training a Padawan and it still makes sense. No, they have to make the Master Jedi be this horrible person and the Padawan to be the ultimate superhero of the story. It's just... Let's see what else it's saying. Yoda, after all, was excluded from the pre-release billing for The Last Jedi and only confirmed as part of proceedings once audiences began viewing the film. So yes, so this is so true. So now we know that he's very early in the productions. He's already there shooting and filming. We know he does not have the beard, so it could be a lot of stuff that happened in the past because, you know, maybe when he was younger. Because, you know, when we met the older Luke Skywalker, he had a beard and things like that. So what I wish for this movie is that, you know, they will honor the character. Because I really think that the whole division started with the fact that, you know, they portrayed the character in a terrible way. I've said it many, many times. It's not even about having him being a little depressed because things are not working out, because this is a relatable subject if you think about it. You know, like, think about in your entire life you're trying to do things and they're not going well. I mean, it's easy to get depressed. That is actually relatable. The problem is with the execution, and I said that many, many times. My problem with The Last Jedi is the execution, is the way that they portray the character, doing silly things, you know, just for the sake of people having to, kind of like, in my opinion, they wanted people to like, ooh, look at him and say, wow, this is Luke Skywalker, and now I want just to be look at Rey. Purposely, that's how I feel. So it's about the execution. I don't think that they honor the character, and that was the biggest mistake in that film. You know, that's all I have to say. But this article has a fair point saying that it's true. The fact that he's so early in the production, it could be indeed that he will have a key role, and that's what I wish, you know. Let's see what else it's saying. Perhaps Lucasfilm and Disney are simply desperate for one last dance with the stars of the original trilogy, and yet the return of Fisher, with, you know, the footage, ought to have filled the particular nostalgia bucket to the brim. The announcement of Hamill's inclusion suggests something unusual must be afoot. Perhaps he didn't really die on Act 2 after all. Yes, that's what I want! It was a mere illusion, a trick of the light, and the Skywalker has been cheerfully milking those weird space count things ever since. No. Having faked his death to put Ren off his scent, except that the scenario would be even more rubbish than yet another atmospheric Force Ghost cameo. But it's very weird for me that they haven't said anything about Han Solo, especially having Lando there. We know that he is dead, or, you know, there are some people that said maybe he's not dead, but I don't know. The way that looked pretty dead to me. But I think it would be great if they had a quick flashback, even if it's not like a big thing, but it was something very quick, especially taking the fact that they did not give Han Solo proper honor for his death on The Last Jedi. It was not even addressed at all. Let's see what else he's saying. Let's hope Abrams does have some genuine smarts up his sleeve for Skywalker and the Last Spirit Jedi. We need to be seeing now. Hamill had his turn in the spotlight last time out, and the actor's unexpected reappearance risked inspiring irritated fatigue rather than awe. I completely disagree, whoever wrote that. People are going to go watch this because of Luke Skywalker, okay? That's the only reason. They made Rey so uninteresting that right now, all I want to see is what are they going to do to Luke Skywalker? Because I don't care about Rey anymore. They already made her no longer interesting, okay? I actually don't care. But let's see. Surely the Dead Jedi everyone wants to see in Episode 9 is one we've been waiting for ever since the vision of Vader's crumpled, ruined helmet in the early trailers of The Force Awakens. Isn't it time for Anakin Skywalker to turn up and have the grandfather to grandson and evil discipline chat that Ren so desperately need to get him out of the First Order funk? That would be fantastic. I haven't heard any rumor about Hayden Christensen being around set, but if that's gonna happen, it has to be such a surprise that I don't even think they would shoot this in London, because if someone snaps a picture of him on set, you already know he's back. So this is something that they could shoot as a Force Ghost on a studio somewhere else where we're never going to know until the movie is out. So it would be very stupid if they bring him to the studio, because, if someone snaps a picture and it's out, then everyone is going to know he's going to be back. But let's just end the article, and it says that could be the moment that defines the final installment, almost as powerful as Luke's first encounter with Vader, and finally transforms the Force Ghost from polite bystander to key player in the event. That would be very great. For what is the point of Ren worship Vader as a totem of fascistic space evil if Anakin then turns up to calmly sit the bleating emo Sith toddler down and